What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Tank Be Chopping, and I'm coming at y'all with another haircut tutorial. So what we finna do on this cut is we're gonna give this man a number 2 on top, mid fade, and we're gonna clean up the beard that he has. He doesn't have like a real strong, super thick beard, so we're just gonna clean up and line up what he has and make sure that looks good. So I'm using my Ergos from Stylecraft, and as you can see, I do have that purple magnetic guard on there, so that just lets you know that I do have the Filthy Blends mod on this clipper. I do have 2 Ergos, one Stylecraft and one's Gamma, and the Stylecraft one, like I said, has the Filthy Blends mod, so I'm using my number 2, but with the double magnetic guards, and I'm going over the top, getting this hair down all the way down to that desired length that we wanted. So I decided to put this modification on this clipper because I really like the clipper, right? And I wanted to really like the Andis Masters, but y'all know the cordless Masters are kind of loud, and that's something I didn't like and I knew my clients weren't too fond of. Therefore, I said, you know what, let me put this mod on this clipper and let's just see how it works. So now I'm starting off with my initial bald guideline, and as you can see, I'm using my Evo trimmers. Now you can use any trimmer you have or any that you prefer. I just grabbed this one for this haircut. So I'm not punching in this line with the trimmer facing the other way like a lineup. I'm actually leaving a soft line. That way it makes this line easier to take out when it comes to actually fading this hair in. And as you can see, I left that C cup a little darker just because I want to make sure that's slightly darker so I can see when I'm lining up and see how it looks when I actually hit that C cup. So per usual, you know, I'm dropping the fade down in the back. That's just what I like to do. I like to contour the head slightly, and 90% of my fades, I drop down in the back a little bit. And right now, we're just doing the same thing that we did to the other side. We're coming up, balding out the side, and we're just matching that bald guideline to this side of the haircut. Remember, guys, you don't have to be 100% perfect when you set in this bald guideline. You're gonna fade it out anyway. You do want to make sure that it's, you know, it's on the better side than not, but it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. So now I'm taking my Prodigy from Stylecraft. This is their shaver. And I'm just coming up right below that line that I just created. And as you can see, I'm slightly flicking out. And the closer I get to that line, I'm actually relieving a little bit of pressure. That way I don't put so much of a harsh line in there. So this is basically gonna fade pretty much into the trimmer line. I might have to do a little bit of detail work at the end with my trimmer or my shaver to get this line out, but for the most part, I think that flick out motion and that relieving pressure technique that I do helps, basically just helps make this line easier to take out when it comes to fading this haircut in. So if you can see, I did flip the shaver around and I'm using just one foil, and I tend to do that when I'm in smaller areas and when I don't have a lot of room to work with. And when I get closer to that line, it just helps me take out that line and do that flick out motion a little better and a little easier. All right, so now we're gonna actually start fading. As you can see, I'm taking my clipper with the lever open, and I'm gonna come up about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And remember, guys, I'm coming up this much because I like my fades a little stretched out. I don't like my fades too compressed. And I'm just going over this, going over this section a couple times. Want to make sure I'm consistent with it and make sure I get this whole section down to that desired length that I need for this section. And y'all know me, I like to fade my sections down once I create that guideline. So as you can see, I just closed my lever halfway. And I'm coming up halfway into this section and I'm flicking out. That way I don't create any more lines. That way I don't create any more lines in this section. And once I do this all the way through, I'm gonna close my lever some more, and I'm gonna come up right below that. And then once I close this lever all the way, I'm gonna attack that bottom line. And if this doesn't take off the bottom line, that's perfectly fine, guys. I'm gonna come back with my trimmer if I need it anyways to detail the cut and to get rid of that bottom line, like I said, if I need to. Which it looks like I might need to do that a little bit here, but we'll see how this cut comes out. So as you can see, I'm just doing some slight detail work in between this in this middle step. And I do that from time to time, guys. All right, so now what I'm doing here is I actually have my number 1 guard. My lever is all the way open, and since we did that number 2 on top, I'm just using this 1.5. Basically, I'm fading down a little bit, so I'm fading in the sides into the top, making sure it has a nice transition, and I'm coming up right above that parietal ridge. And I'm just doing that because of the shape of the fade that he likes. He doesn't like his fade too squared, so I'm coming up right above the parietal ridge and rounding it off a little bit. So now here's my 1/16 with the lever open. And I'm coming up another section, and I am flicking out because I don't want to create a line. And basically the 1/16 with the lever open is going to be about a 1. So therefore this pretty much should fade into what I did earlier with the 1 guard open. And if it doesn't, I'll go back when I'm with my number 1 guard and just do some detail work to clean that up. So as you can see, I am adjusting that lever closed. I just closed it halfway right now, and I'm still attacking that bottom line. It's gonna clean it up a little bit, but I am gonna have to close that lever all the way to try to get this bottom line all the way out. And y'all see, guys, I like to do a lot of lever play in between my steps. So even though I create my next guideline with the lever open and then I slightly start to close it, I do go back in between my step and I clean it up a little bit just by doing some lever play. You don't have to do that. I just tend to do that from time to time. Honestly, it's like I'm on autopilot sometimes and I just do whatever, basically whatever comes to my head when I'm fading. If I see something, I have to open that lever or close it just to make sure it looks a little more faded to me. And like I said, you don't have to do that. You can actually just go through your steps and then come back and detail everything at the end. It's all about preference, guys. There's more than one way to come up with a clean fade. So now I got my number 1 guard on there again, and I'm just cleaning up the top of that fade area. I did see some dark areas that I wanted to touch up, so that's basically what I'm doing here. Now, as you can see, I have no guard on my clipper and I'm doing some detail work. I'm starting with my lever open and I'm using some corner blending. And I'm just using the corners of my blade to try to get rid of these dark lines and these dark spots. So this is basically me doing some detail work, guys. I did go all the way through my steps and now I'm coming back down and cleaning up this fade. And I just wanted to put this out there, guys. I'm not too fluent with these clippers. I do use it from time to time. I think I do actually switch clippers in the middle of this haircut just because I felt like it was taking me too long and I wasn't getting the product that I wanted. But they do work good with this blade. I'm just not too used to the guard, basically the guard system and the way the clipper opens. And I just wasn't used to it with this blade and this guard system, basically, so I did switch clippers. However, there is some haircuts that I can do with these clippers that come out really nice. So as you can see, I got my trimmers and I'm just detailing that bottom line, trying to get rid of that dark line that I left at the bottom. And this should, for the most part, take that bottom line out. And I want to apologize for my shoulder being in the shot. And here I am detailing with my clippers one more time. And like I said, guys, I just do some slight lever play and I just attack them dark spots that I feel need to be touched up.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
So here is my 1/16 guard again. And y'all see what I mean when I said that this haircut took me a little longer than I felt needed. And like I said, that just has to do with me being pretty, just not as fluent with these clippers as I am with my other clippers. But I did want to do some content with these clippers, so that's why I decided to do it. Now, there are some barbers who are really good with this guard system. One of the barbers at the shop, he's really good with the masters. He loves the masters. He don't use anything else. Me, I like them. It's just, like I said, they were just too loud for me, so I decided to put this blade on this clipper. And I like the way the guards cut. Like, I like the length of them. I like the smoothness that it leaves, and just the blend that it gives, but it just takes me a little longer to achieve that fade that I want. So as you can see, I'm just fading in his beard now, and I'm just doing the same steps that I did on the fade on the beard. So I'm basically going downward instead of fading up. So now I got my absolute hitters. And like I said, guys, you can use any trimmer you want. These were just the trimmers that I decided to grab for his lineup. And as you can see, he doesn't have a strong edge up. He's got a lot of light spots in it. I did add some enhancements in this haircut. However, I didn't record that part of the cut. But I'm just trying to keep this as natural as possible and as straight as possible. I am gonna have to take some parts back just because he has light areas in his haircut. But we're gonna try to make this haircut look nice and crisp anyway. So now I'm using my Gamma Ergos, and I was just cleaning up that area a little bit more. And now I'm doing the opposite side of his haircut, but I'm doing it with the other, I'm doing it with my other clippers. Like I said, guys, I just felt that it took me too long on the other side to achieve that look that I was looking for. So I decided to switch clippers just because I use these more often than the others, and I am a little more fluent with this guard system. So I decided to use this for the rest of the haircut. So here is my lever open, and y'all know I'm fading downward. So I started with the lever open, came up halfway with the lever halfway open, and then closed it all the way to attack that bottom guideline. And I actually think that this blade on these clippers is actually zero gap, or not zero gap, but since it's a thinner blade, it actually cuts closer than the Andis blade. Now here's my number 1 guard. Started with my lever open, came up to about the parietal ridge, flicked out, and then I faded downward. Now I got my number 1.5 guard on there, cleaning up that top area, adjusting that lever open and close. And now here's my 1/16 guard. And I'm just cleaning up that middle line. And as you can see, this side of the fade looks like it came together a lot easier, right? I didn't have to do a lot of cleanup work, didn't have to do a lot of detailing. And like I said, that's just because I'm a little more fluid with these clippers. So now I'm cleaning up that bottom line with my trimmer. And now we're just matching up his edge up. Yeah, and then we're just gonna clean up his beard, fade that in. So when it comes to cutting hair, guys, and picking what clipper you want to use and what clipper you need to use, most clippers will get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Like, most professional clippers are gonna work pretty good. It's really just based on preference. You will have some people saying that these clippers suck. You have some people saying the Masters are better. Some people are gonna say the Walls are better. Some people are gonna say the Babyliss, the JRLs, the Alphas, the Magic Clips. You know, everyone has their own preference, and you just gotta do what's easier for you to get the job done. So each clipper isn't gonna work the same for every barber. Some barbers just like different clippers, and that's totally fine. Like I said in the shop, we have some barbers that use different clippers and they still come out with good haircuts and good products. So you just gotta pick the clipper that's best for you and easier for you. So just so y'all know, guys, if y'all like any of these tools that y'all seen in this video, you can actually go to Stylecraft. You can go to the Stylecraft website or the Gamma website, and you can actually use my discount code TANK10. You'll get you a small little discount, guys. And I just want to give a shout out to that boy Tito Beats, man. He's the one that be supplying all my beats for my videos. Y'all make sure to give him a follow on Instagram. He be coming out with that fire, man. So if any of y'all YouTube barbers or anybody who does YouTube just needs some background music, y'all make sure to hit him up, and he's got a little subscription that he gives you a couple of beats each month. So y'all hit him up, guys. So as y'all can see here, I switched back to my other clipper, and you can do that. And I feel like when it comes to detailing, guys, that works really well. When you use one clipper to do the actual haircut and then another clipper to actually detail, I feel like that works really well. So now, as you can see, we're just razoring up the cut, making sure these lines are nice and crisp. And I'm just going over everything I did with those trimmers, making sure these lines are nice and crisp, and just make sure that lineup pops.
Damn it, Tito. Another one?
All right, guys. So this is how he walked in. This is how he looked before the haircut. And this is the after look. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments, guys. If you like this haircut, make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. I got some more tutorials dropping. I got some more vlogs, more reviews. I am going to be doing some more videos soon, guys. So y'all make sure to like and subscribe to this video. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time, let's go.